Hi, I'm Christian Triola, author of the Missing Method for Guitar books, and this is Reading the Riff, number 7, the Halloween edition. Alright, so before we get started, make sure you download the PDF so you can follow along. Now, as you could probably guess from the decorations I've got here, Halloween is definitely my favorite holiday. There's just no getting around it. And this year for Halloween, I wanted to show you how to play the theme from Halloween, the movie by John Carpenter. According to interviews with John Carpenter, he claims that this song was written in an hour and that the whole score for the movie Halloween was done in 3 days, writing it, recording it, putting it out there. So he must have just had an idea in his head from the time they were shooting of what it would sound like, and when the time came, he was just itching to get to it, because this theme is so good and so iconic. It's up there with Star Wars and Jaws. I mean, you hear it, you know what movie it is, even if you've never seen the movie. That's how good these tunes are. So let's learn the sounds of Halloween. Okay, so first, it's got an odd time signature. Now, I've been looking this up and I was trying to figure out, okay, what time signature is it? A lot of people claim it's 5/4 times. You'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the way I hear it is you have 3/4 time for 2 measures and then 2/4 time for 2 measures. It kind of ends up being the same type of thing. The difference is how you're feeling it. For me, I feel 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Or if you put it into the riff, and you can hear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then that repeats. So I think if you think of it in those terms, 3/4 time to 2/4 time, it just makes it easier to remember. Second, in order to get that sound, it moves through perfect fifths, which are the basis of power chords, essentially, that perfect fifth sound. You can hear that's what a power chord is made up of. But then it moves just slightly outside of that power chord to get that flat 6 or the minor 6 sound, and then comes back. And it just works so well. And when you hear that, you can't help but think of Halloween, both the movie and the holiday. Okay, so let me show you where your fingers are going to go. So these notes are pretty high up the fretboard. So the first note is actually the C sharp, which is on the 9th fret of the first string. And then the other note is on the 7th fret of the second string. So there's a couple ways you could do it. You could use your 3rd finger and 2nd finger and then have the pinky come on and off. Or you could use your pinky finger on the 9th fret and just slide it up to the 10th fret. Both kind of work. It just depends on what your fingers like to do. So at the beginning of the song, we have 9, 7, 7, 9, 7, 7. That's the 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we do 1, 2 with the same notes, 9 to 7. Then we come up to 10 for the next set, and then play that 7 again. So you want to keep that index finger held down on that 7 the whole time. So for the first part of the riff, you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then it shifts down by a half step. So instead of playing 7 and 9, you're now playing 6 and 8, but you're doing the same thing, same counting with the pick. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then it comes back up. Etc. All right, then of course the song goes on, but that's the main riff, that's the main part. So I'm going to play through it all as it is in the PDF, and then we're going to talk about a different way that you can play it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. goes on from there. All right, so that is one way that you can play it on a guitar, and that will be good on any type of guitar. You can play it on acoustic, electric, whatever you want. The next version of that does the same thing an octave higher, and it sounds even more like the theme from the movie, which is played, I think, on a synth or a keyboard or something like that. And so what you do is you come up to the 21st fret. And now you have to have a guitar with 22 frets because otherwise this isn't going to work. Because that 21st fret is the starting note, and then you go to the 19th fret. So it looks the same interval as you were doing down here, but now we're on those last two dots on this Les Paul. So then you play it the same way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You can hear it's got that spooky sound. It does sound a lot like the recording that you're used to hearing. And of course, I just went down a half step there so you could hear what that sounds like. And then you could continue the whole thing up in that octave, and it really sounds good. Okay, so that is Reading the Riff number 7, the theme from Halloween. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a pretty easy one to play, a lot of fun to play, and a great one to learn for this time of year. So if you enjoyed that video, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Then make sure you go to themissingmethod.com where you can find books that help you learn how to read. I happen to have the 3rd book in the series here, which shows you how to read frets 7 through 12 up in this position. The 5th book in the series actually covers the notes that go way up the fret, so you can learn all those super high ledger-lined notes and learn how to read those with book 5. Also, while you're on the website, don't forget that you can get a free ebook, and all you got to do is sign up for our newsletter. That's all there is to it. So come over to the website, check us out, and enjoy the tunes, and keep practicing. And happy Halloween.